Clive Sinclair's Spectrum machine, which in the US I think was called Timex Sinclair. In fact, this rubber keyboard you see it was the first one I actually got. I think the first game was an educational one called I think it was First Steps with the Mr. Men. That was it. That was the first game I got with it. Such a wonderful machine. Was brought to many homes, big in Britain anyway. Was probably one of the earliest examples of going to school and having the kind of system versus system arguments, and it was originally Spectrum versus Commodore. But the best thing about this is probably the loading screens. The sound of the loading screens is absolutely one of those nostalgic trips that you just couldn't really forget, to be honest. This isn't just a Mega Drive, it's the Mega CD and a 32X all as one, because I think it should be all packaged as one anyway, because they were the extensions to basically get more life out of the Mega Drive. I prefer the Mega Drive one plus the Mega CD one, because I think that looks a lot better than the one that you see now, which is the version 2 of both the Mega Drive and the Mega CD. Fair enough, some of the Mega CD games came out and they were kind of quick time event-like time stuff. You know, the really crappy press X to do this, that and the other. Which a lot of game companies are doing now, which is really shit, and they really should go back and say, well, it was bad then, and this is why it's bad, so let's keep it out. But it's publishers that are just the thieving bastards out the whole lot. But anyway, that's a complete different argument. Yeah, some of the Mega CD games, like Wolfchild, that was the music on that was so wonderful. Some of the great games came out of Mega Drive as well. And yet again, it was a second part of childhood, system versus system, where it's Sega versus Mega Drive versus SNES, basically. But they're both really nice systems. But like I said, I was a Mega Drive owner, so you know, I'm still collecting for this actually. I'm trying to find a 32X that actually works. But yeah, such wonderful memories. Sonic, you name it. And I've heard a rumour that Sega may actually be going back into the console business, if they are really wondering what they're going to come up with next. Should be interesting anyway. So Nintendo's Wii, it was just slightly more powerful than the GameCube. Was backwards compatible with the GameCube, which is always a good thing, because yeah, you want the next console, but if there's really good games from the previous console, you kind of want to keep the games, so it's always good to have reverse compatibility. But the Wii itself was such a good idea, and Nintendo were a family console business anyway, so it really made sense for them to come up with something like this. A lot of people don't like the whole gimmicky kind of motion sensor, but arguably it's kind of a good step in a good direction, because at least they're playing around and getting it right this time. Unlike the Nintendo Power Glove, which Angry Video Game Nerd looked at, and it was absolutely pretty much crap. But they've got it right this time, and kudos to them, really. I don't think they're coming out with another console, because they just want to concentrate on peripheral-based stuff, which should be interesting to see what else they come out with. But good one, Nintendo. Definitely third place. Well deserved. Yeah, it's Sega again. But to be fair, this was the last console they did before they bowed out the whole hardware race and went software. And to be honest, it is such a lovely machine. Recently, I've just managed to work out how to get CD games on mine. You can get the homebrew stuff, which means I can actually start thinking about playing around with the whole homebrew side of things, which should be interesting to see what it can do, and just to be able to say yes, I have programmed for a console. There are some interesting games. It doesn't have that much of a great library, but from the stuff that it does have in there, yeah, definitely. I think it's a system to kind of look at anyway, as a collector's item as it is. I recently got Shenmue, I think it's called, £8. I've not tried it yet because I'm busy, with other games and other stuff. And I've heard that's probably one of the top games. I recently actually managed to try Ikaruga, and wow, that is such a shooter, such a wonderful shooter. In fact, actually, it was Retro Gamer Daz who got me back into thinking about it again, and that's why one of the reasons why I put the second anyway, because it is such a lovely machine. Good one, Sega. Just wished it stayed in, but they didn't. So, yeah. Oh yeah, and it was way ahead of its time. It was 128-bit before everything else was. But fortunately, the software on the PlayStation swamped it. So anyway, the Sega Dreamcast. The Commodore Amiga 1200. I actually have a couple of these, and they're really good machines. The best thing about them now is that you can still upgrade them. You can put hard drives and stuff on them. I'm thinking of basically upgrading the motherboards. Well, not the motherboard, the expansion port, so I get a really shitload of memory, a CD drive, a compact flash card, maybe like a 2 gig one, and have it on the internet as well, because you can probably just about see a little slot on this left hand side on that picture, and that's for the PCMCIA slots, which you'd find in laptops and things, and they use them, so I'm just going to pick up a wireless slot and stick it on. Wireless network, sorry. And also I'm going to try and get maybe Amiga OS 39 on it as well. Probably the only oldest computer that'll ever be on the internet, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it still plays some of the Amiga 500 games as well. You've just got to, I think you've got to hold down both mouse buttons as soon as you power it up to bypass certain systems. But it's such a lovely machine. Definite collector's item. Really good set of games as well. Because like I said, it still plays the old 500 stuff. Yeah, Expandable Frankenstein, great set library. It's such a lovely machine.